What's up guys, I'm PawsBuild, and in this series we're going to be building a medieval town in Manor Lords. But our medieval town isn't allowed to do any trading. This means we're going to have to grow all our own food and make all of our own weapons. And there's going to be an evil baron off the map that's trying to take the land from us. So we need to not only defend ourselves from bandits, but also from them. I hope you enjoy. Let's start a new game. Now, we need to pick a ruler portrait, and I think this old man is so cute. And, oh my goodness, look what name has been suggested already. We have to use this. This is Herman. It's Herman's town all over again. And next, we need a coat of arms, so we can choose a bunch of different symbols, patterns, colors. You can literally go crazy with this. I'm going to try and come up with something that I think symbolizes the fact that we are a town that likes farming and care way more about our animals than we do the humans in it. Ooh, okay. This one's giving the worshipping animals vibe, but I think it's going in a Kool-Aid direction that I'm not comfortable with. What is going on here? Oh my goodness, wow, okay. I love this. They've got a lion as well that's like drawn in medieval times when they didn't actually have lions to have a reference from. So you'd either get them drawn from memory of someone who saw a lion like 2 years ago, or someone who had heard stories about lions and was doing like an artistic impression of what that sounds like. And that is hideous. I love it. I'm torn between dancing pig, dancing bear, and dancing chicken, and I think we might go chicken in this one. Let's give the chickens a go. Let's go for something like this. That's kind of cool. It's like the gold and blue and white. We're gonna go with that. Okay, let's see where we end up. Now let's use our game mode. So in this one, we're going to go for restoring the peace. So 2 territories in the north are claimed by the illegitimate baron whose castle is located off the map. Bandit camps reside in the other unclaimed regions, so we need to essentially build up our town, and when we're ready, take on the evil baron and free the whole land from his tyranny. I think that's something we can do. Other than that, I'm going to leave everything on standard settings, and let's start. Here we are. Little aerial shot of our town. Most importantly, we have an ox already. Hans the ox. I think that's the ox. Is that the name? Yeah. Okay, I was checking that wasn't the human. Hans the ox, you're gonna carry this team. Now we've got a message. Let's read that. Victory condition dominance. Build up your town, your manor, and when ready, press claims towards regions owned by your opponents. Once a claim has been pressed, be ready for battle. I'll unite these lands under my rule. And Hans already has his human tending to him, so he's doing a good job. We have an issue of homelessness, so we do need to build some houses. What I want to do first is pause and then zoom out and check what kind of fertility we have everywhere. If we go construction, you can see these overlays. I'm going to look at underground water. Now we need to start our town where there is water, so we can build a well over one of these areas. And other than that, I want to have a quick look at our farming fertility. That is awesome. Okay, so we have green emmer, which is like wheat. We can grow some flax as well, and some barley, and rye everywhere. Wow, okay, that's amazing. And then smell and fire hazard are still work in progress. I want to see whether these are working now properly, or working somewhat, I should say. So really, it looks like we can build our town kind of where we are. That's not a bad spot because we're nearby to facility, and I'd rather build on a yellowy zone if possible, and we've got quite a lot of water here already, so this might be a great place to start our town. That's nice and convenient as well because we've got all our supplies here already. Let's also have a quick look at the main resources. So we've got a rich iron deposit, we've got wild animals, stone deposit, clay deposit, and berries. Okay, we don't have any fish because that's the new thing that's been added, is there are fishing ponds. And they've got salt over there. Where are the fish? Oh, up here. Okay, so annoyingly, we are bordering the Baron's territory. So this is the yellow one. And at the minute, he's claimed the fish. But maybe we can get up here at some point and grab some fish. He's got the rich deposit as well. Of course he has. He's claimed the best regions. But no worry, we will start a grand town in this region. And firstly, I'm just going to build a little road that comes through here, and I'm going to try and keep it somewhat realistic in making sure that the road doesn't like cut through trees unnecessarily, because they wouldn't do that in these times. they would just build it wherever it was convenient. You know, they wouldn't just fell a tree just to have the road go in a perfectly straight line. But I think that's quite cute to come through here. And we got this little bit of a road. Now we can start building some buildings. The first one we're going to need is a logging camp to get more timber. And I'm thinking if we put this around here, we can probably fell these trees and kind of expand the town around here. So I'm going to put this, it's not going to fit here without uprooting trees. We could put it here though. I think I'm going to whack it there. And hit play and everyone will start building. So someone is going to grab hands and bring some logs over here to start the construction. There he goes. Grab a log, my friend. You're the only one strong enough to pull them, which is why you are the MVP of the town. And he's going to drag it over a few meters and they can start building here. Perfect. Other than that, we do need to get started on some food. And I think right now, the best source of food for us is going to be these wild animals up here. So I'm going to put a hunting camp on this point here. And they can hunt the wild animals in the forest here. What do we have? We've got some nice stags, it looks like, roaming around. And I love how these buildings build in. They do it in a modular way where they actually construct the building piece by piece as you're delivering materials to it. So you can really see it slowly come into effect rather than just pop the building appears. There we go. They've now finished. I'm going to assign 2 families to this. We currently have 3 unassigned families and 2 assigned families. In total, that's 10 population because in each family, we've got 2 people. And now they've started to fell these trees, we're going to start getting some logs. We do need wood to be able to build the housing that these guys need because at the minute, they're just in a tent, which isn't ideal. I'm also going to connect up the road down here, I think, or move this hitching post. I think I'm going to move the hitching post to be here opposite the logging camp, and this is where Hans is going to rest and can easily move between them because if Hans is moving on the road, he'll go much quicker. Now we've got a message. I have heard of your renown. I only seek to defend my rights and my honor against those who would wrong me. I hope you'll not judge me by the rumors and slanders that some spread about me. Signed and sealed by my own seal, Hildebolt von Berenroot. I mean, I'm kind of judging you. Everyone's saying you're not the best. And, you know, where there's smoke, there's often fire. I'm going to end conversation right now. I don't really want to start pen-paling with this guy. We also can assign a family to the hunting camp now, and they will go and start hunting the wild animals in here. And if we go into advanced, we can tick that they're going to keep a reserve. So if this resource point has fewer than 10 animals, they won't hunt anything, or they're going to keep 10 in the herd so that it can repopulate and rebuild. Otherwise, we'd end up just hunting the deer to extinction. Now let's get started on some homes. If we can build burgage plots level 1, that would be ideal. I'm wondering whether we want to have housing facing onto the main road here or onto our side road. I'm kind of thinking we might want a bit of space at the entrance for some other buildings and have our town more in here. If we build 5 houses here, they've got space for a workshop in the back, each of them. I think that's pretty cool. That's what these symbols mean. So this is where the house will go. Then we've got space for a workshop. And if you make them really big, you can get more than 1 family in. So you can see that there's a little extension here with a +1. That means you can get 2 families living in the same plot. I think for now, I'd rather just have 1 family per plot. But we can definitely have some workshops in there. We go something like that. I think that's good. Start building. And then we can watch these beautiful houses build in.
Okay, we've just reached a new settlement level. That's amazing. Okay, cool. And the final family has joined the final house. Now, I just love the game. I have to say, I think it's so beautiful when you watch them build in, and the attention to detail is incredible. Plus, look at the little fire here. Like, the lighting effects and everything. I'm a massive fan. And look, our hunting camp is up and running. So there is one family out hunting probably right now that will bring back deer, and then they'll provide them for the town, but they have nowhere to give them to anyone. They can't actually sell their deer anywhere. So we need to go construction and set up a marketplace. And I think, potentially, this is a good spot right here, where we've kind of got this strange shape around the hitching post. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to just join up our marketplace like this, and have a small marketplace here, kind of in the middle of town. So I'm going to add this. It's going to give 11 slots for market stores. So it's a bit of a small market, but I think that's quite good. We could maybe have a couple of small markets in this series. We'll see how we go. But this can be a small market right here. And when this builds in properly, we're going to have people set up stalls when they have stuff to sell. So at the minute, that's just going to be our hunting camp is going to be able to sell the food that people need to live. And we do need that because we are running out of food. We've got 5 months of food already, but we are going to run out soon. And we also need fuel. So that's actually more of a pressing issue. We need to get some firewood gathered. So we can get a woodcutter's lodge and put that in. I think that would be a great idea to put near the logging camp as well. So in this lovely space that they've cleared, I think we should add a firecutter's lodge just here. And this building is going to take the timber we get from the logging camp and cut it up into firewood that our villagers can then use in their homes to keep themselves warm. And look, we have a marketplace stall. I think this is a food stall. So this will sell whatever we get in the hunting camp. But we are losing supplies now. Okay, our exposed supplies are going to need storage. So urgently, we actually need a storage building. We need a granary to store all our food. And I think this in the middle of town as well is a great spot for one. So I'm going to put that there and set this construction priority to be the highest construction priority. So hopefully they build this very soon. And then we can get all of our supplies, particularly our food, into the granary. There we go, we finished our granary, and doesn't it look good? I'm going to assign a family to work on this, which means we only have one unassigned family right now. And they are going to grab all of the supplies we have and put them into the granary, as well as taking the food from the hunting camp and moving that into the granary too. And then they will also set up a food stall, and we can have more availability basically in the marketplace. Look at them, they're hanging the meat already from the deer. That's so good. So you can see there's 2 people in each family, and often one of them will stay like going and hunting while the other goes and tends the market stall, or in this case, they're both transporting food to the market stall. Like they do it as like a team, which is really cool. So you have you don't have like specific traders that just sit in the marketplace. Like a lot of other games, you have people from the actual profession obviously sell their own produce in the marketplace. And they have to juggle that between, you know, in this case, hunting deer and selling the meat from the deer. So you'll get them doing that and dividing the jobs, which I think is really cool. And you can see our granary worker is now transporting bread to the marketplace. So I think they are also selling from this stall. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, this looks like it's got bread and meat from it. So I think the marketplace worker may have taken over this stall now, and they're going to sell stuff from here. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, look, you can see they're adding more bread as well. I love it. It's so awesome to see the actual physical bread being added as well as they drop it off. And then when people buy it, it'll leave. And it looks like we've started work on our woodcutter's lodge as well, which is great. That is also going to need storage. So I think we have some firewood here that also needs to get out of the rain. So in the same way we built the granary for food, we do need the storehouse for supplies. And this is possibly better to be right here. So we can watch them. I'm happy for that to be the same priority, honestly, as the woodcutter's lodge. In fact, let's just get the woodcutter's lodge finished first, and then we can have the storage building go in next to it. Okay, we've now had our storehouse built and we've got some stuff been added. So let's look at the message. Armament delivery. A strong militia is paramount to the survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has just arrived. That is very lucky. And we'll now be able to create our first militia banners to serve us and protect our people. However, we will need more weapons to equip all the people as the settlement grows, either by making them or importing them for other lands. Let's form the militia. In this series, our town is not going to do any kind of trade with other people, I don't think. We want to make sure we are completely self-sustaining, so we are going to have to make our own weapons. And at the minute, the only weapons we have are the, what was it, spears and shields that are delivered. So we've got large shields and spears. So we can have 20 individuals fighting in our army. And for now, I think that means we need more families living here. So what is our situation? Food is at 4 months and fuel is at 2. Let's get someone on the woodcutter's lodge, and that will massively help us with getting some more firewood. And I think we take a family off of the logging camp, and I'm wondering whether we have capacity really to have one in the granary right now. We've moved all the food in there, so I think we're going to take them off and have a couple of families free. We should really get the stuff into the storehouse. So I think let's have a family do that for now. Take that in, and when that's all been moved into the storehouse, we'll take them off as well and have another family free, because we're getting low on the deer now. And we're going to need some more sources of food. It does look like there's berries over there, which is great. And that's really our only other option right now. So let's go into gathering and the forager hut. Now this is going to be so far away. I'm wondering where's best to build this. It's not close to our town at all. But I suppose we can put it a small distance away. Let's have the forager's hut be around here. And then build a road that connects up. Maybe through the forest here. There we go. We've got a small road through here. And when that's built up, we can get a little bit more food in here, which I think is what our town needs, as well as just needing more people. So in addition to building that, I think we need to build a new couple of houses, because we're not going to get any new people arrive until we build more housing. There we go. We'll build in those 2 houses there, and that will enable us to get more families moving in. And they're going to move in as long as we have the approval for it. So the higher our approval, the more quickly families will move into our town. And we could really do with some more. I'm going to set the forager's hut to high, so we can hopefully get some berries in here soon. And then the houses will build in after that. There we go. Our forager hut is built. Let's assign a family here, and we can get some berries being gathered from over here. I think we should also take off this family from the logging camp, because we have so much timber and we don't have any families ready for construction right now. So if we take the family off of the logging camp, we've got plenty of timber to be used in the woodcutter's lodge. And I think we can also take this family off of the storehouse. Now you can see When they've got this little marketplace icon, that means that they've set up a stall in the marketplace. So at the minute, they're running one, and the woodcutter's lodge is just focused on cutting wood. And I imagine, oh, the granary, we took the people off, didn't we? But you can see we've got a little firewood stall here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the family off of the storehouse too, just for now. And then I imagine the woodcutter will take over this stall, and one of them will tend the market stall. And then we've got 2 families available to build in these burgage plots. Because when we get more people, that's absolutely fine. But right now, we do kind of need all hands on deck for construction. And as well as these houses, I need to build a well on top of some water. And I should have planned this out before, really. We've got quite a few places with water availability. So I'm going to put one well down here. And I think I'm going to build another well up here also. And that should give pretty good water coverage for everyone. As well as if we have a fire, that's which I don't think is working right now. That would be useful. There we go. We've got one well already built now, and I believe they're building the second well in over here. So that's making good progress. And we've got these 2 houses now. So we have capacity for 7 families, and hopefully another family will move in very soon. We also have a settlement point, so we can use this. It's like a tech tree. We can unlock various things. Now, I'm wondering, this is basically the one we're not going to have, because we're going with the thing that the Baron's interrupting trade lines, like they're gonna send spies or something, you know, they're gonna steal all our stuff if we try and trade. So we need to use, ideally, some of these maybe to try and make our local area more productive and fruitful for us. And I think heavy plow is probably a great one to actually make farming possible with a small town. I'm not going to get it right now because we do want to set up our farm first, but I think that's the direction we should go in. Oh my goodness, they're using the well as well. Look at them. There you go. And off they go. That's amazing. Our town resources are looking a lot better now as well. We've got 4 months of food and 5 months of fuel. So we're okay for now. Though it is spring and we do need to stock up on everything for when winter comes around. This is producing a pretty steady supply of meat, but we have, you know, we've worn down the animal population to 10, so they will just hunt any that reproduce from that point. But the berry population is going strong, and these come back anyway. Like, you can use these and go, you know, gather literally all of them and then stop. So in fact, for now, I think I'm going to put 2 families on gathering berries and let them kind of do that. And perhaps I'll even take a family off of the hunting camp and put one on the granary instead, because if we can let the deer breed back up and focus on berry gathering instead, and then move them back over in the future. But if someone's on the granary, they'll still look after all the food, and they can tend the market stall and everything, and do that side of the job for everyone. Eventually, too, we can assign someone to just work as like Hans's guide, I guess, his little carrier. But we don't need to do that right now. Ideally, we want more families to do that, and then they will just 100% look after him and walk him around to each job. Right now, just anyone who's free will pick him up and take them. I don't know if there's a bonus as well, like a speed bonus, if you use someone who's assigned to him all the time. I think that would be a good way to incentivize it in the game, but I'm not sure if that is a feature or not. I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments. And while we wait for someone new to join the town, it's probably a good idea to look at our army. Now, we don't have anything at the minute. We don't have any money or anything, but we do have 10 viable citizens. and 20 spears and 20 shields. So we can make a very small, modest militia with the spear militia here, new militia unit. So I'm going to click this, and that will create for us a 10 out of 36 units. So you can see it's very modest, spear militia, and then we can call them to arms whenever we want. But as people join the town, until, well, I suppose up to 20, we can have them join our local militia, and then if we get a raid or something, we can hopefully defend our town. I'm a little bit scared about that because we do need more weapons, and for that we're going to need to start mining this iron. But I really want to get food sorted out before we do too much in the weapon side of things. So it's a bit of a, you kind of got to counterbalance to see what you think is most important. So if we look here, we can also get another ox, which may not be a bad idea for 20 coins. And this is probably a good time to explain the money in this game. So there's two types of wealth in the game. There is our regional wealth here, which is the amount of money that the townsfolk have, I guess, collectively. And then there is our treasury, which is how much money Herman, as our ruler, has. Now, you use them for different things. Essentially, town improvements like ox, buying any kind of livestock, that kind of thing, uses regional wealth. And buying mercenary units or our own private army comes from the treasury. So we need to really, at the minute, we want to focus on building up our town and getting more regional wealth. But the best way to do that is trade, and we're not going to do that. So really, the only viable way for us to get any kind of regional wealth right now is to take it from bandit camps like we have in this forest over here. So you can see this is quite a pack of rude dudes though. We don't want to hit them until we have the strength to do so. And they will come and steal from us if we don't wipe them out. So you do want to take out bandit camps where you can, not only because you get money from it, but because if you don't, they'll start stealing from you. You gotta kind of hit them before they hit you. It's that kind of world we're living in. So right now, our best strategy is going to be increase the amount of housing we have and get more people into the town. And that will build up our local militia so we can take out some bandits. So while we have the wood, I'm thinking, let's just add in another couple of houses over here. Like so. And then we know we've got plenty of extra room for expansion. We're going to have 4 more houses than we need for our families. We can also see our marketplace is doing well. We've got 100% fuel being met, the needs of our town, and 100% food variety. They've got berries, meat, and bread. So that's awesome. That's actually another thing we could use our regional wealth for, is upgrading these plots to have the backyard extensions, as they're called. We could have a vegetable garden or a chicken coop to provide additional food. Now, this would be really helpful for us. I'd like to do the vegetable gardens in ones with bigger plots, ideally, like longer gardens, because you can get more vegetables in. Like these here we built might be a better idea. But some of these do have reasonable sized gardens, but the smaller ones would probably be better to be chicken coops. Because I think they are the size they are, and you just have a bigger garden with the same chicken coop in it if you have a big garden. So we could look at that, but we don't want to use all our money up at once. And I do want to make sure we save at least 20 regional wealth for another ox, because I do think we're going to want them. Currently our approval is sitting at 52%, which is fine, but if we could move it up, that would be ideal. And that's because we did have homelessness in the previous months. But because of our good market food variety, that is giving us +3 to our approval. Or now +2. So it may be worth us focusing on increasing our approval as well as our actual capacity in the town. And you can do that by meeting everyone's needs. So at the minute, everyone has food and fuel. We don't have any clothing, and we don't have access to a church either. So perhaps the next best thing for us is to get a church built. I just seen we had someone move in as well. We've got 6 families now. That's amazing. Awesome. Okay, so it is working with 51%. But if we could speed that up, that would be good. Now, looking at the wooden church, we don't have all the materials. So we need to go to the gathering tab, and you can see, as well as making timber with the logging camp, you can make planks with the saw pit. So let's build ourselves a saw pit. I'm trying to think where to put this. This might be good to go around here, actually, behind the well. And we can connect it up with a small road there. And then they can take the logs from the logging camp to the saw pit. and get them sewn up into some nice timber. And with that timber, we'll be able to build a nice church, so I'm sure all of our townsfolk will massively appreciate it. There we go, we've finished our saw pit, and now we can get someone working in there to start making those planks for the church. The other need that we have is the clothing supply, and we can actually meet this because one of the materials needs to be available, which is leather, and we do get that from the hunting camp, but we get it in the form of hides, so these need to be tanned to turn them into leather. And to do that, you just need the building. I can't remember where it is. I think it's in industry. Yes, the tannery. Now, these buildings are very stinky, and I don't know whether the smell thing is working yet, but I'm thinking we should probably have this located a little bit further out of town. As far as location, it may be best that it's actually located nearer to the hunting camp, but I don't know how far out of town we want to make this. And also, it seems a bit gross to put the tannery on the main street. Like, no one is gonna want to come through here, although maybe that's ideal, as we don't really want passing trade, do we? So actually, yeah, I think we're gonna put the tannery further up, and that will just put people off. This is probably a good spot over here. I'm going to put the tannery here, and they've not got far from the hunting camp. And once we have the tannery up and running over here, we can actually make some leather that people can use for clothes. And then we're going to be meeting all of their needs other than the church need. So when we've got our planks done, we can actually meet all of the level 1 needs, and these could become level 2 plots, which is a huge milestone for our town. Okay, finished the tannery. Now we can assign one of our available families here. We've currently got 7 families and 9 spaces for them to live. So we're doing fine on that front. And the tannery is going to make us leather, which we can use to meet the clothing need of our houses. So they should almost be there with that. Now, we've got 10 planks and 14 timber. We need to keep making planks because a church costs 20. It's 20 planks. So that is quite a lot, and we have a little way to go with that. And something I wanted to ask you guys was whether you wanted to see the day and night cycle in this town. At the minute, I've just got it on so it's always daytime, but we can turn that on, and then you can see the cool night lighting that they have, and especially with things like the campfire out here. I think it looks really cool, but I know a lot of people prefer to just have daytime on all the time, so I thought I'd leave it up to you. Let me know in the comments by commenting and upvoting whatever you want to see, and we can see what the most popular one is and do that going forward. And it looks like we just hit 20 planks, so we can start construction of our church. What I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate the logging camp also, because I don't think we want it here anymore. I think I'd rather have the logging camp be moved out here somewhere, so that we can kind of expand this area out and maybe get some farmland in here even in the future. So let's move the logging camp there, which will take a bit of time to move the supplies across. And then I think we can have our church maybe around here. can set it back like this, perhaps. And connect it up with roads as well. And we'll connect it up with roads once we've got rid of this supplies drop that we have here of wood. There we go. We have finished our wooden church. And how beautiful is that? Oh, it looks amazing. I love it. And as soon as this logging camp is finished as well, moving over here, we can move all these supplies out of the way and connect it up with a nice road. How cute is that, though? I love it. There we go. Hans is taking away the last log, which means this is open. Let's connect up a cute little road from here. And there we go. You can go straight into the church from there. Now, this should be meeting everyone's needs. Yes, they have all of their needs being met, which means they could even be upgraded to a level 2 plot. But that is doing wonders for our approval rating. And people are going to start moving in so much. We've already got 8 families living here out of 9. That's amazing. And if we check on our berries, the deposit has been depleted. So let's remove both families working on here, which gives us 5 free families. That is crazy. Okay. So we could probably start to make a swing at farming now and get ourselves better armed. We've got 16 out of 20 in our militia now. The town is starting to shape up. I love it. And I think we're going to call the video here and start farming in the next video. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out. And I'll see you in the next one.